My name's Bob Rowley. I'm a senior civil consultant. Been with Bentley for about 10 years now. So, yeah, today I want to kind of go over creating sheet seed. And we're going to kind of talk a little bit about sheet seed, kind of management, and kind of a scale philosophy. There's a couple different directions you can go with your sheet seeds and setting those up. And then we'll kind of talk about some of the seed names and so on. And then I'm going to try to do a plan profile. Probably not going to do the profile since that's very similar to plan profile, and a cross section sheet seed in the time we have. So hopefully that's going to be a pretty tall order, but each one kind of has its own little, different ways to go about some of these things. And so I wanted to kind of cover as many as we can anyway. And we start running low on time, might have to drop one or two out of there. So I guess it depends on how much I chatter. And so one of the things that we get into discussions about and working with different clients to kind of have different point of views on some of this stuff, setting up one default scale for your sheet seeds. That's kind of one method. And so, if you're working in 50 scale, 90% of the time, then, you set up one set of sheet seeds at 50 scale. And then if you have to use a different scale, then you kind of educate your, people and whoever's using those sheet seeds how to go about changing the scale, what settings and things that you need to change in there. On the other side of the coin is setting up sheet seeds for pretty much every scale you use. So you might have 10, 20, 40, 50, 100, 200, 1,000 or whatever. And so that kind of gives the operator just, you pick this one, everything's set for you. You don't have to worry about setting anything else. All the scales and everything are set properly and just move on. And so, but that's a lot of upfront setup for the sheet seeds. I mean, I think I had one DGN library that had 110 sheet seeds in it. So that's kind of over the top. But then on the other hand, might set up, I got another one in the same company that says, no, I only want, a default scale and we'll just change it if we need to. And so those are some of the things to kind of think about. Kind of the naming of, your sheet seeds, or how you put, or how many sheet seeds you put in a file is something to think about as well. You might have, especially if you're just doing one default scale, you might just have one DGN library that's for that specific size sheet, and it has, plan, profile, profile, all the different types of sheet in that one DGN library. And that's kind of what I'm going to be setting up today. And then, you can go the opposite end of the spectrum and create a sheet seed DGN library for every, sheet seed that you're going to set up, where you got one sheet seed in a DGN library. So the thing I don't like about that is that's a lot of DGN libraries to load. And so I like to try to keep the DGN libraries, down to, as small as I can without getting too many eggs in one basket. So sometimes if you are setting up all the scales, then you might have a DGN library for plan with all the scales in it, and then profile with all the scales in it, and so on. So, okay, enough on that. Typically what I do is I will set up a spreadsheet of all the sheet seeds that I'm creating. This is one using, multiple scales per type of sheet seed. And so I got one, in this case, plan for that sheet size, and then all the different scales, and then the next type of sheet and all the scales that I'm setting up for that. And then I kind of have put in the size of the drawing area and have it calculate, certain values and stuff that I'm going to enter into the sheet seeds. And so that's kind of a nice way to make sure that everything is consistent. I have all my names. I always copy the name of that particular sheet seed from the spreadsheet and to create my sheet seeds. So and this is the one I'm going to be using here, basically one scale for each sheet type. And so this is the one we'll try to get through today. And there are a couple sheet starter files in the folder that I'm using from our default delivered. In this case, this would be more for, copying this for one type of sheet seed and so on. But the one I'm going to have is going to have actually multiple design models set up in it, so I can have multiple different types of sheet. And so I'll kind of show you that. And so let's go ahead and we'll get to the live demo. Like I said, these are the ones that I'm trying to get through, probably not doing profile.
If you found this video helpful, please give it a like. If you want to see more such series, consider subscribing to our channel. Thank you, and see you next time.